An Old Woman's Tale by Nathaniel Hawthorne. An Old Woman's Tale 1830 was one of Hawthorne's most popular books. The little story is a retelling of a surreal dream shared by a young couple, featuring an old lady, a shovel in the moonlight. That's enough clues to pique your interest before you dig in. In the house where I was born, there used to be an old woman crouching all day long over the kitchen fire, with her elbows on her knees and her feet in the ashes. Once in a while she took a turn at the spit, and she never lacked a coarse grey stocking in her lap, the foot about half finished. It tripped away with her own waning life, and she knit the toy stage on the day of her death. She made it serious business and sold its amusement to tell me stories at any time from morning till night in a mumbling, toothless voice. As I sat on a log of wood, grasping her cheek, a prawn in both my hands, her personal memory included the bitter part of 100 years, and she had strangely jumbled her own experience and observation with those of many old people who died in her young days, so that she might have been taken for a contemporary of Queen Elizabeth or of John Rogers and the Primer. There are a thousand of her traditions lurking in the corners and by places of my mind, some more marvelous than that what is to follow, some less so, and a few not marvelous in the least, all of which I should like to repeat if I were as happy as she in having a listener. But I am humble enough to own that I do not deserve a listener half so well as that old toothless woman whose narratives possessed an excellence attributable neither to herself nor to any single individual. Her ground plots, seldom within the widest scope of probability, were filled up with homely and natural incidents, the gradual accretions of a long course of years, and fiction had its grotesque extravagance in this garb of truth, like the devil an inappropriate smile, for the old woman supplies it, disguising himself, cloven foot and all, in mortal attire. These tales generally refer to her birthplace, a village in the valley of the Connecticut, the aspect of which she impressed with great vividness of my fancy. The houses in that tract of country, long a wild and dangerous frontier, were rendered defensible by a strength of architecture that has preserved many of them till our own times, and I cannot describe the sort of pleasure with which 2 summers since I rode through the little town in question while one object after another rose familiarly to my eyes like successive portion of a dream becoming realized.